We're live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. China starts military exercises around Taiwan, deploys planes and ships to encircle it. Taiwan calls it a blatant provocation. 4 Israeli soldiers dead, many injured in a drone attack. Hezbollah threatens Israel with more attacks if Lebanon assault continues. Man arrested near Trump rally in California faces gun charges, had firearms, multiple passports and a fake license plate. Police claims to have averted another assassination attempt.
I probably did have deputies that prevented the third assassination attempt.
North Korea says border units on standby to shoot amid drones infiltration. South Korea neither confirmed nor denied it, however, warns of severe consequences. And India's President Draupadi Murmu addresses Indian community in Algeria, says Indian community is a bridge between two nations. Delegation level talks today. Well, on to the details now. China on Monday launched military drills around Taiwan. Beijing's defense ministry said the country has deployed planes and ships to encircle the Taiwan island. The Chinese military's Eastern Theater Command in an early morning statement said the Joint Sword 2024B drills were taking place in the Taiwan Strait and areas to the north, south and east of Taiwan. The statement further reads, the drill also serves as a stern warning to the separatist acts of Taiwan Independence Forces. It is a legitimate and necessary operation for safeguarding state sovereignty and national unity. The drills are focusing on subjects of sea-air combat readiness patrol, blockade on key ports and areas. Also, Beijing maintains a near-daily military presence around Taiwan, and Monday's drills represent its 4th round of large-scale war games in the past 2 years. And Taiwan condemned the latest exercises as irrational and provocative. In a statement, Taiwan's defense ministry said it had dispatched appropriate forces to respond accordingly to protect freedom and democracy and defend the sovereignty of Taiwan. The statement said in the face of enemy threats, all officers and soldiers of the country are in full readiness. It further reads that Taiwan is determined and confident to ensure national defense security. An update on West Asia conflict now. Israel's military said a Hezbollah drone had killed 4 soldiers at one of the northern bases on Sunday. The attack on a military training camp near Haifa is the deadliest such assault on an Israeli base since September 23rd, when Israel increased its attacks on Hezbollah in Lebanon. Emergency services reported more than 60 wounded. The incident occurred reportedly after the Israeli military detected 5 projectiles launched from Lebanon. Sirens were activated in several regions, including Galilee, Haifa Bay and Carmel. Hezbollah late on Sunday said it launched a squadron of attack drones at Israel's Binyamina camp. The strike was in response to Israeli attacks, including airstrikes on Thursday in central Beirut. In a later statement, Hezbollah warned Israel with more attacks if its offensive in Lebanon continued. And UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres on Sunday denounced attacks that have injured several peacekeepers in southern Lebanon. The UN Secretary General in a statement said the attacks against peacekeepers are in breach of international law and may constitute a war crime. The UN chief said the UNIFIL personnel and its premises must never be targeted. The UN chief urged all parties, including the IDF, to refrain from any and all actions that put our peacekeepers at risk. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called on the UN chief on Sunday to move peacekeepers deployed in South Lebanon out of harm's way, saying Hezbollah was using them as human shields. In a video statement, Netanyahu said, "Your refusal to evacuate the UNIFIL soldiers makes them hostages of Hezbollah. This endangers both them and the lives of our soldiers." His call to UN Chief Antonio Guterres came a day after the United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon repeated its refusal to withdraw from the border area after 5 of its members were wounded in the Israel-Hezbollah conflict. The Israeli PM also regretted the harm to UNIFIL soldiers and said Israel is doing its utmost to prevent such harm. And moving on, a man arrested at a security checkpoint near Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump's California rally on Saturday faces gun charges. The 49-year-old man, identified as Las Vegas resident Wem Miller, was found in possession of loaded firearms, multiple passports and a fake license plate. Riverside County Sheriff said he believed his department prevented another assassination attempt.
What we do know is he showed up with multiple passports with different names, an unregistered vehicle with fake license plate, and loaded firearms. If you're asking me right now, I probably did have deputies that prevented the third assassination attempt.
Well, however, jail records show Miller was released on $5,000 bail on Saturday after being charged. He could not immediately be reached for comment on Sunday. Trump's rally on Saturday took place in the Coachella Valley, an area known for its annual music and arts festival. Meanwhile, former U.S. President and Republican presidential nominee addresses a rally in Prescott Valley of Arizona on Sunday, where he made bold promises on immigration, pledging to hire 10,000 additional Border Patrol agents if re-elected. Intensifying his criticism of Vice President Kamala Harris, Trump focused much of his speech on border security. He vowed to seek congressional approval for a 10% pay raise for Border Patrol agents, along with a $10,000 signing and retention bonus.
But after I win, I will be asking Congress immediately to approve a 10% raise. I haven't had one in a long time for all agents. And a $10,000 each retention and signing bonus. So we're going to retain them. We're going to retain them. This will ensure that we can hire and keep the Border Patrol agents that we need to keep, and we can also bring in a lot of new ones, really great ones.
Well, while Trump's rival and U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris energized supporters with sharp criticism of her opponent at a powerful rally in North Carolina. Harris began by addressing the devastation caused by Hurricanes Helene and Milton, assuring the crowd that she had spoken to both Democratic and Republican leaders in the state to coordinate relief efforts. Shifting her focus to the election, Harris urged voters to remember that Election Day is nearing, with early voting starting Thursday in North Carolina. In a pointed attack on Trump, she accused him of lacking transparency, highlighting his failure to release medical records, a practice she and other candidates have followed. Harris also noted that Trump refused a 60 minutes interview, breaking a long-standing tradition among presidential candidates.
He is only focused on himself. And he's not, but here's the thing, North Carolina, and he's not being transparent with the voters. He's not being transparent. So check this out. He refuses to release his medical records. I've done it. Every other presidential candidate in modern era has done it. He is unwilling to do a 60 Minutes interview. Like every every other major party candidate has done for more than half a century. He is unwilling to meet for a second debate.
Well, North Korea has warned Seoul of a horrible disaster if South Korean drones are found flying over Pyongyang. North Korea's artillery units near the border have been ordered to be ready to fire. North Korea has blamed the South Korean military for the practice. It has also been floating balloons with trash into the south in reprisal. On Friday, North Korea accused South Korea of sending drones into Pyongyang at night this week and said the intrusion demanded retaliatory action. Meanwhile, South Korea neither confirmed nor denied it, however, warned of severe consequences. Albania Prime Minister Edi Rama on Sunday said that an enhanced Central European Free Trade Agreement for the Western Balkan region was within reach ahead of the Western Balkan Summit that will be hosted by German Chancellor Olaf Scholz on Monday. He added Albania seeks to make itself fit for membership of the European Union by 2030.
So tomorrow will be important to come back and to fix the SEFTA mechanism, about which there were some controversies in the last month, but apparently they are overcome now. So this is a good, beneficial part of the Berlin process, in kind of keeping all of us on track. So our aim, anyhow, is to make Albania become a member state-like country in terms of doing all the homework, concluding all the institution building reforms, fulfill all the criteria and the standards within the 2030.
And now let's get you some news from around the world. Amid the general elections in Lithuania, the centre-left opposition Social Democrats hint of forming a majority coalition government together with two other parties. The election polling began on Sunday with early results indicating SD at a prominent position. Spacecraft manufacturing giant SpaceX has caught a new mega rocket booster after test flight on Monday morning. It launched a Starship rocket on a Sunday from Texas in a fifth test flight to feature first attempt at bringing the rocket's towering first stage booster back to land using huge robotic arms.
All but three. The plume.
The French Senate in November will debate a ban on children under 16 attending bullfights and cockfighting. These practices are a controversial tradition practiced in several Latin American countries and Spain, with parts of southern France and Portugal. In July 2024, Colombia banned bullfighting, putting an end to the practice, which its constitution recognizes as part of the country's culture. And still to come in this edition of DD India Live. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar is expected to attend SCO summit as Pakistan prepares for the big event amid security concerns. Ahead of government formation in the Union Territory, Centre revokes President's rule in Jammu and Kashmir. And in sports, top seed Arana Sabalenka wins third straight Wuhan Open title. Men's world number 1 Jannik Sinner clinches Shanghai Masters. Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, and moving on, preparations are underway in Pakistan as the country gears up to host a summit of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization grouping on October 15th and 16th. The meeting of the SCO comprises 9 full members, including China, India, Iran and Russia. India's External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, is expected to attend alongside Prime Ministers of China and Russia, among others. Meanwhile, restrictions under Section 144 have been imposed in Karachi city and Pakistan's Punjab ahead of the summit. Authorities will also shut down the capital Islamabad amid recent terrorist violence and political unrest, including a deadly attack on a convoy of Chinese engineers in Karachi. And India's President Draupadi Murmu graced an Indian community reception in Algiers on Sunday. The President said that Indian community in Algeria was a bridge taking forward India's interest in soft power. She added that the Government of India and the Indian society have always valued and appreciated the contribution of the Indian community in enhancing India's position, prestige and standing abroad.
भारतीय लोग भविष्य में अल्जीरिया के साथ साझेदारी के लिए तैयारी है। अल्जीरिया ने विभिन्न क्षेत्रों में कार्यरत परिश्रमी भारतीय समुदाय एक तरह से भारत के सच्चे राजदूत हैं। ऐसे तो हम लोगों के राजदूत थे, लेकिन आप भी एक राजदूत का ही काम कर रहे हैं। जब भी आप किसी अल्जीरियाई व्यक्ति से मिलते हैं तो आप उसका परिचय भारत की भावना से करते हैं। आपका संस्कृति, आपके चाल चलन, चेहरा, भावना भारतीयता में भरी हुई है।
Well, the President also said India supported Algeria's liberation movement against colonialism from the very beginning. She said our leaders have had close personal relations.
भारत ने कॉलोनियलिज्म के विरुद्ध आर्जिया के मुक्ति आंदोलन का शुरू से ही समर्थन किया। हमारे नेताओं के अल्जीरिया के नेताओं के साथ घनिष्ठ व्यक्तिगत संबंध रहे हैं। जब 1962 में अल्जीरिया स्वतंत्र हुआ तो भारत अल्जीरिया का साथ देने के लिए मौजूद था और हमने तुरंत राजनीतिक संबंध स्थापित किए। तब से राजनीतिक संबंधों में कई गुना वृद्धि हुई है।
Earlier, upon arrival, President Murmu was received by her Algerian counterpart, Abdelmadjid Tebboune, as a special jester. Other members of the cabinet were also present. The President was accorded a warm ceremonial welcome. She was honoured with a 21-gun salute and reviewed a guard of honour consisting of the Republican Guards and members of the Land, Air and Naval Forces. The President is in Algeria as part of a 3-nation tour of Africa, where she will also visit Mauritania and Malawi, which is reflective of India's deep desire to strengthen its partnership with African countries. And now let's quickly take a look at the President's itinerary for today. Well, she is scheduled to pay her respects at the Maqam Echidid, a memorial built in honor of the martyrs of the Algerian War of Independence. She will then visit the Mujahid Museum. Later, the President will meet Algerian President Abdelmadjid Tebboune and hold delegation-level talks, followed by a press statement. In the evening, President Murmu will attend the lunch hosted by President Tebboune. Besides, she will also address the Algeria-India Economic Forum. Finally, at the end of the day, Speaker of the National People's Assembly of Algeria, Ibrahim Boghali, will call on the visiting dignitary. And moving on, India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar highlighted key ways to strengthen US-India strategic and economic ties, as well as emphasized upon the natural synergy between the two nations at the US-India Strategic Partnership Forum that began in New Delhi on Sunday. The summit follows on the heels of India's Prime Minister Modi's successful visit to the United States for the 6th Quad Leaders Summit at the United Nations General Assembly. Dr. Jaishankar also underscored policy continuity under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership and outlined significant opportunities for American visitors. He encouraged board members to support the PM's internship scheme to enhance employability, equip youth and the tools they need to thrive and foster a skilled workforce ready to meet future challenges. The US-India Strategic Partnership Forum, USISPF, aims to create a powerful partnership between US and India. And the President's rule in India's Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir was revoked on Sunday, paving the way for the formation of new government in the Union Territory. The decision comes after National Conference Vice President Omar Abdullah met with Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha on Friday to stake claim to form a new government. President's rule was imposed on June 2018. In August 2019, the centre revoked J&K's semi-autonomous position under Article 370 of the Constitution and gave it the status of Union Territory. And now let's take a look at other stories making news today. The Chief Minister of Central Indian State of Madhya Pradesh, Mohan Yadav, inaugurated the 15-day celebration marking the birth anniversary of Maharishi W Micki to be observed on October 17th. The day honors the great sage who wrote the Ramayana, a famous epic that teaches about ethics, morality and victory of good over evil. Preparation begins in Western Indian state of Gujarat for Chandi Padvo festival, which will be celebrated on 17th of October. Chandi Padvo is an occasion when Gujarati people gather with friends and family to enjoy local variety of sweet, ghari and bushu. Last rites of former Minister of Western Indian State of Maharashtra, Babasaheb was performed with state honours in Mumbai on Sunday. The Nationalist Congress Party leader was shot dead on Saturday night by 3 unidentified attackers in Mumbai. India's Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh, interacted with the students of Jammu and Kashmir in New Delhi on Sunday. He further advised the students to imbibe new technologies and get acquainted with new developments in different segments of the society. And on to some sports news now. Top seed Arana shook off a second set blip to win 3 back-to-back Wuhan Open titles. She beat Chinese 5th seed and home favourite Zheng Quanwen 6-3, 5-7, 6-3 in the finals on Sunday. Sabalenka did not face a single break point in the opening set, but world number 2 Sabalenka lost some control in the second set against the Paris Olympic gold medalist. However, Sabalenka raced to win in the decider set. She is the first player to win 3 successive Wuhan Open titles. Sabalenka is targeting to reclaim the top ranking in the final weeks of the season. And world number 1, Jannik Sinner, defeated 24-time Grand Slam champion Novak Djokovic 7-6, 6-3 on Sunday to win the Shanghai Masters. Sinner took a crucial break in the 4th game of the second set to defeat the Serb and deny him a 100th career single title. The Serb had been hoping to become only the 3rd man to win 100 single titles in the professional era after Jimmy Connors with 109 and rival Roger Federer with 103 titles. US Open and Australian Open champion Sinner, who levelled his head-to-head record against Djokovic at 4-4, has won 7 ATP titles this year. He has ensured the year-end number 1 ranking. And India hopes of reaching the semi-finals of the Women T20 World Cup 2024 took a major hit on Sunday after the Harmanpreet Kaur-led side lost to Australia in the final group game. The defeat left India second in the points table, but New Zealand can overtake them with a win over Pakistan on Monday. Australia entered the semi-finals unbeaten, winning all 4 of their group games. Chasing 152, an early collapse of 6 for 31 left Harmanpreet the last batter standing, and despite a second successive half-century, she could not take India over the line alone. India, however, can still reach the final if Pakistan wins against New Zealand on Monday. Any margin of victory for New Zealand will eliminate India, but a Pakistan victory will decide the semi-finalist on net run rate. All right, that's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Lipakshi Khurana from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.